First off, weakening once again means there is a gap. The argument is vulnerable in some way. We want to focus on their conclusion, then their evidence. Conclusion indicated by after all. After all, of course, means evidence, but whatever immediately precedes the words after all will be a conclusion, because after all is introducing new evidence. So Lopez eventually did win, is the evidence for, or at least part of the evidence for, the people being biased in favor of Lopez. They're claiming that those who reported that Lopez's arguments were better may have been biased, and that's suggested because Lopez won in the end. Now, they're talking about the question of who made better arguments, so you also want to consider that as well here. Now, there are a number of things they could be failing to consider in terms of this group, but you want to think, how is it possible that these survey respondents were not biased? What new information could suggest that they were not biased in some way? So I would scan through the choices looking for that they were not biased in favor of Lopez. You want to problematize that. So the live audience, people watching, of course, they are relevant here because it's about the survey of those immediately afterwards. So most people in the live audience, so that's suggesting that the survey is not representative. That the survey says Lopez was better, but most people overall thought Tanner was better. So it's attacking the survey and saying that it was not really addressing a representative portion of the audience. But I think it's still not explaining specifically how Lopez's arguments weren't better. I think that's what you actually want to address is, were Lopez's arguments better or not? That's the conclusion. Or were those people specifically biased? Now, if we look at D, the correct answer, most of those surveyed immediately prior said they would probably vote for Tanner. If the people prior to the debate thought they would vote for Tanner, and these are the surveyed people, but later the survey shows that Lopez is favored, that suggests that these people changed their opinions over time. It's specifically limited to the people within the survey, unlike B, the live audience overall. So this says, basically, the survey people liked Tanner before. Afterwards, they respond to the survey saying they thought Lopez was better. That means they changed their minds. The debate actually impacted their opinions, which of course never really happens in real life. So D is the answer here. And I think, again, surveys, of course, are always open to question, but you want to limit it to the survey group specifically, unless that we have reason to think there's a sampling bias in some way, or it's unrepresentative in some way, like if the survey is surveying only college students, but the claim is about the population in general, for example.